While many blockchain firms are competing in the cross-border payments territory, Ripple Labs, the company behind XRP, has been able to stand out from the crowd early on by partnering with banking giants and making its XRP-powered solutions go live across the globe successfully. Ripple has become the first blockchain-focused payments company to join the ISO 20022 Standardization Committee. Today, we are going to take a look at cryptocurrencies and looking at the research and information available out there and making an assessment on which are best investments right now. Personally, I'm new to cryptocurrencies. I've been watching from the sideline. I have big reservations in relation to investing in crypto myself. I'm a big cryptocurrency skeptic. So I'm coming at this from a very skeptical point of view. I only believe in things that have value. Based on the information I've had until recently, it seemed to me that cryptocurrencies in general are very risky as an asset class or as an investment. And my investment background is in things I can touch and things that are real assets. So for example, this gold coin right here, do you see? This gold coin is something that I can touch, I have in my hand. My personal investing style and preference is to invest in things that have value, such as brick and mortar property or bullion, such as gold coins like this one. 1 ounce gold coin, okay? So the reason for this is because this coin is legal tender, so I can use it as money, and I can also melt it to make a chain, make a bracelet with it, and can exchange it, so it serves multiple purposes. It is literally money, and it has intrinsic value as well as market value. Whereas with cryptocurrency, I feel that they are very risky in the sense that you're dependent on so many factors in terms of security. But I follow experts in the field, experts who are crypto asset investors. Obviously, they have their own crypto that they prefer, but some of them, they're actually talking a lot about XRP. So XRP is one of the cryptocurrencies I've decided to invest in after doing my research. So it seems to me that XRP and a few other cryptocurrencies, they are special in the sense that they are part of a changing economic reality. They are part of the conversation, part of the ecosystem that is being built right now. Some call it a quantum financial system. Others, perhaps they have other names for it, but basically the trend is towards a central bank digital currency, which most countries will implement. Some are in the process of implementing it right now. And then this all links to faster payments. And you will see how XRP and the company behind it, that is called Ripple, is actually well positioned to be the star in this upcoming financial ecosystem revolution. And then for this reason alone, I find XRP is a good investment. It's something that I've invested in recently, and I'll put a link up here for my video where I share how I went about making my first investment in cryptocurrency, in this case XRP. And doing my research, I realized there are a few other cryptocurrencies that are very well placed, as well placed as XRP. And I wanted to share with you my research. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to go through some articles and I'm going to read through the information that I find relevant, supporting the case for investing in XRP as a cryptocurrency. So if you're an investor skeptical about investing in cryptocurrency, I suggest a good point to start is XRP and perhaps a few other cryptocurrencies that I'm going to show you as per the research. And again, if you want to follow the steps I've done to actually make the purchase, because I've done some research on that as well, then please look into my other video, which I'll link at the end of this video as well. So, okay, so we have a number of articles which I am going to go through, and I'm going to include the links to all these articles in the video description box, so you don't need to worry about missing any of this information, and you can go into more depth you can take your time to read through the information and do your own research and come to your own conclusion. So I think in no particular order, I'm going to start from this article. There are a few articles here updated between 2021 and 2022. So some are more recent than others, and I'm going to start with the order in which I've downloaded them, and I'm just going to skim through them and read through. So I think it's good to start with this article about SWIFT ISO 20022 and its impact on cross-border payments. So it gives some information about what SWIFT ISO 20022 is and what are the implications. So I'm going to read through some of the important passages here, and again I'm going to have the link to this article and all the rest of the articles in this video in the description box. Okay, so financial messaging network provider SWIFT ISO 20022 standard was first published in 2004, proposing an international open messaging rulebook to replace SWIFT's existing messaging standards. It was designed to simplify and improve the way financial information is processed and exchanged worldwide more effectively. The planned migration of ISO 20022 for cross-border payments was originally scheduled for November 2021. However, SWIFT extended the date from which it planned to enable ISO 2022 messages for cross-border payments to November 2022. Okay, if adopted globally on a broad scale, the ISO 20022 standard has the potential to completely transform cross-border payments processes, which at present are mired in delay, high costs, and opacity due to a lack of standardization and the reliance on legacy systems. The new standard will allow for improved payment transaction, data quality, and greater interoperability between international payment schemes. However, it is important to note that at present, the adoption of the ISO 2022 standard remains disjoint and inconsistent from country to country. Most payments regulators have ISO 2022 adoption roadmaps in place, but many of these have unclear timelines or significant windows until they are fully complete. Okay, so with this background in mind, I think it's good to next go to an article that explains what is the role that Ripple, the company behind XRP, plays into this new standard. So the next article I want to share is this one that says ISO 20022 cryptos, 5 compliant cryptos to keep an eye on in 2022. So this is an article published in 2021 in December. So let's see. The world of institutional global wire transfers and cryptos have long stood at odds with one another. The advent of cryptocurrency threatens to unseat international money wiring as a centralized service. Yet now, thanks to ISO 20022, it seems like these services might be able to coexist and deliver the best of both worlds. But what are the crypto assets to buy in order to best benefit from this coming standard? Luckily, there are a variety of ISO 20022 cryptos to pick through. The international organization of standardization behind the creation of the ISO 20022 standard introduced ISO 20022 as a way to have one standard method of developing messages between financial institutions. Indeed, institutions all over the world use their own different coding languages for these messages, which can make international transfers a very jumbled and disorganized process. ISO 20022 would consolidate all of these messaging formats into a single language, Extensible Markup Language, XML. Many organizations are starting to back ISO 20022. Notably, the Society for Worldwide Interbank Financial Telecommunication, or SWIFT. So, now we're going to the juicy part. So the compliant ISO 20022 cryptos will see a boom in 2022 with SWIFT adoption. The ISO 20022 standard does threaten to get in the way of some cryptos. There are a number of experts who believe adoption of the standard will get in the way of cryptos like Bitcoin and keep them from becoming ubiquitous as international money transfer plays. However, that's not the case for a handful of ISO 20022 cryptos. There are 5 digital currencies that adhere to ISO 20022 compliance requirements, making them apt place for the year to come as SWIFT adopts the format. 2 cryptocurrencies are not just compliant with ISO 20022, they are members of the ISO 20022 standards body. These currencies are Ripple and Stellar Lumens. So for Ripple we have XRP and Stellar Lumens we have XLM. Ripple is the first of the 2 to be added to this body, opening up standardization for distributed ledger technology. Stellar is a part of this body through IBM, which uses Stellar to underlie its stablecoin issuing operation. So right here, do you see, this is an important piece of information. So Ripple was the first organization to be a member of the ISO 20022 standards body, which is huge. And then obviously we have XLM as well. There are other cryptos that are compliant with ISO 20022, which include XDC, IOTA, and Algorand. What ties all of these cryptos together and differentiates them from non-compliant cryptos is their focus on streamlining international wire transfers. As such, they are some of the earliest adopters of the ISO 20022 standard, seeing that it is rapidly growing in support from institutions. So the next article is this article here, Ripple, Buy the SEC Uncertainty, Sell the Settlement News, which was published in March 2022. So I want to bring to your attention the history, the background, some background about Ripple and XRP. So Ripple Labs is a US-based technology company that develops the Ripple payment protocol and exchange network. About 10 years ago, it also created its own digital currency called XRP to enable money transfers over the internet. Then CEO Chris Larsen said at the time, "We think this is the first viable alternative to correspondent banking." This paragraph here and this statement here is so huge. So I've worked in payments. I've worked for a number of payments institutions here in the UK, and I can tell you that correspondent banking is how these payment institutions operate. They use correspondent banking in countries where they don't have representation. So correspondent banking is huge right now as of 2022 when we're talking about payments institutions. So correspondent banking is literally using banks, correspondent banks in geographic regions where money is being transferred to, where the payment institution needs to have a partner, a banking partner, to be able to execute the transaction, the bank transfer. If XRP, a former CEO, says, "We think this is the first viable alternative to correspondent banking," this is huge. This is going to literally change payments forever. Okay, so according to the company, Ripple provides one frictionless experience to send money globally using the power of blockchain technology. By joining Ripple's growing global network, RippleNet, financial institutions can process their customers' payments anywhere in the world instantly, reliably, and cost-effectively. Banks and payment providers can use the digital asset XRP to further reduce their costs and access new markets. And now I like this paragraph here because it gives information about who the investors behind Ripple are. And I think this is very important to know. So Ripple is a privately funded company with many well-known angel investors, including Anderson Horowitz, Lightspeed Venture Partners, Google Ventures, and IDG Capital Partners. It's important to understand that these companies have invested in Ripple, the company, not necessarily XRP, the token. Revenue comes from professional services provided to financial network operators, software built to integrate legacy financial systems with Ripple, and by regular sales of the XRP token. Now, There is a lawsuit. In December 2020, the SEC, Security Exchange Commission, sued Ripple and executives Brad Garlinghouse, the CEO, and Chris Larsen, executive chairman of Ripple board of directors and former CEO and co-founder of Ripple, for alleged illegal sales of unregistered securities related to the XRP token. And there's another article I'm going to share about this, which is going to give more details. So we have an article here from June 2022. Ripple plans to leave the US if SEC wins the lawsuit. Ripple has been facing issues as SEC filed a lawsuit against it, saying that it has been raising sums using illegal securities. The problems worsened as Ripple accused SEC of conflict of interest. This is super huge. The case is still in court, and Ripple's CEO has said that if they lose the case, they will leave the US for good. So the main point is that the SEC claims that Ripple has raised capital using unregistered securities, while Ripple claims that it is a coin, not a security. So this has created problems, and the case has remained pending since 2020. So I'm jumping right to the conclusion here. Crypto company Ripple plans to quit the US for good if they cannot win the case against the SEC. The prolonged lawsuit has continued for a while and has had an impact on its business. The case is expected to be resolved in 2022. So the next article I want to share with you is this article from October 2021. Ripple's XRP stands to gain with crypto payment adoption at 45% by 2023. The increasing cross-border payment needs, higher transaction fees, and lack of standardization in global payments are prompting the move towards crypto. As use of alternative payments is skyrocketing, banks must urgently embrace the next generation of payments to stay in the race. The report found that nearly 45% of consumers frequently use mobile wallets to make payments, more than 20 transactions a year, up from 23% in the 2020 poll. Furthering this trend, global business-to-business non-cash transactions will increase to reach nearly 200 billion transactions by 2025, from 121.5 billion in 2020. Okay, almost doubling. Okay, in 5 years. The most interesting finding in the report is that cryptocurrency payments, which adoption rate is in the single digits, are expected to grow to more than 45% in the next year or two. This means that nearly half of consumers of payment services will be using cryptocurrencies in the very near future. While many blockchain firms and foundations are competing in the cross-border payment territory, Ripple Labs, so the company behind XRP, has been able to stand out from the crowd early on by partnering with banking giants and making its XRP-powered solutions go live across the globe successfully. The report's findings on crypto adoption, if proven true, could help Ripple further its goal of establishing XRP as a leading payments protocol worldwide. As part of its move to drive interoperability with global payment networks, Ripple has become the first blockchain-focused payments company to join the ISO 20022 Standardization Committee. Okay, so do you see what I mean? So in conclusion, another article I wanted to share is this one from June 2022, The Great Convergence, What Financial Institutions Can Do to Get Ahead. The reason why I think this article is important is because it talks about central bank digital currencies, so Cbdc, in the context of payments and digital currencies, digital money. This is the direction of travel for a number of governments in the world, and I think it's important to know about this. And I'm going to read what it says here. A complete game changer for payments, CbdCs will significantly redefine the need for financial settlement and transfer intermediaries. Whether we're talking about low value or high value payments, eliminating the need for trusted third-party go-betweens will change business models for current industry players, thereby significantly impacting payment-related direct revenues such as fees, commissions, and floats. It could also affect indirect revenues associated with cash management service offerings. Companies in the payments business are already starting to redefine their role and value proposition in a CBDC world, moving closer to banking or shadow banking business models. So CBDCs represent a huge change, a huge shift. And when CBDCs are going to be introduced, that's going to be the end of cash. All paper cash, it's probably going to disappear, and it's all going to be digital currency, whether or not there's going to be centralized government control. The introduction of CBDCs is going to be a game changer. At the very minimum, there is going to be no more cash, like paper cash. It's all going to be digital currency. And this is a reality that obviously governments across the world are working towards implementing. So I know Bank of England here in the UK is working towards this. And there are other governments outside Europe and the UK that are working towards implementing a central bank digital currency. Probably governments have observed how cryptocurrencies are growing in usage, and they want to get a share of the pie. There are some considerations with this, so it's great to plan ahead, but the topic of central bank digital currencies is probably a topic for another video, another day. So in summary, with this information in mind, with the research I've just shown you, how important XRP and Ripple are in the new financial system, in terms of the payments protocols that are being implemented as part of the ISO 20000-2022, coupled with the research that I've done of a number of experts in cryptocurrencies, and they estimate that once ISO 20022 is being adhered to by 2025, most likely by majority of organizations operating in the payment space all over the world, so globally, then the price of the XRP cryptocurrency is going to jump to levels hard to imagine today, when it's trading for a few cents, 30 cents or 30 pence, thereabouts. And my reasoning for investing in XRP is for the purpose of positioning my investment for this increase, this shift, if it were to happen. So this is the main reason that made me realize, in spite of me being skeptical on cryptocurrencies, I do understand the XRP is a different type of cryptocurrency or token, and it has a different role to play. And it's been the first organization that was part of this new standards and working towards implementing the standards. And the experts I'm following, they say that XRP as a cryptocurrency was never meant to be used in retail. And the whole purpose of it being widely available is to fund the investment for Ripple to develop the network to help with implementing these new faster payments. And the experts in XRP say that there will come a time when XRP is going to redeem the cryptocurrency, the XRP tokens in the market, and that is going to be at a valuation that's going to be incredibly high compared to today's price. So my whole reasoning for taking a position in XRP is to make sure that if that reality were to come to pass, I have a stake in this crypto asset, and as such I would be compensated for it. The video I recommend you watch next is a video I've done on my first crypto investment, obviously in XRP. The research I've done to make sure I go about it in the right way. So I've spent, I think, a day or so looking at a lot of research, looking at a lot of information, and discerning what's the lingo in the market, how people buy crypto, what's the best way to buy crypto, what's the best way to store crypto. So I'll link this video up here. I recommend you watch it, especially if you're new to crypto just like I was. It's going to give you the information you need in a very succinct way, so you can decide for yourself if you want to go invest in crypto as well. So this concludes my presentation today. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please share, like, and subscribe, and I'll see you in one of my next videos soon. Take care for now.